I saw a video on Instagram. Someone was sharing how her friend was sponsored by the UK government to train to teach in the UK. And it's not PGC or QTS. Now, the UK government covered her tuition and gave her some living expenses. Now, one thing that shocked me was that many people were under that comment section telling her that she's lying. You people are so fake. Why will you lie on the internet? Guys, if you hear about any opportunity, the best thing you can do is to go on Google, search it, find out whether it is true. I've shared such an opportunity on this channel. I think it's last year I shared that opportunity, and I feel I should share it now because it's currently open for anybody who is interested. I'll share with you how much they will cover when it regards to your tuition, how much living expenses you'll be paid, all the documents you need to gather, where to click. Yes, I will show you how you can submit an application and prepare yourself. Guys, you know, these things get filled up so quickly, you know, and I feel you should just prepare ahead of time and hurry up before all the slots get filled. Anyway, if you're interested in any of these, please watch this video till the end. Hello everybody, my name is Cynthia. I share information that will help your transition abroad to be as smooth as possible. I share information about settling, working, or studying in the UK. If you're interested in any of these, subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell so that each time I drop a new video, you'll be amongst the first people to see that video. If you need support landing a visa sponsorship job, you need someone to optimize your CV, cover letter, or personal statement, then reach out to me. The link will be in the description as well as in the comments. And without wasting time, let's get into this video. Teachers, it's your time to shine. This is an opportunity for you to pursue an early years initial teacher training program. Now, this is something that the government prioritizes. That's why they are willing to sponsor it every year. And it's open to international students to explore. Remember that if you are on a skilled worker visa and you're thinking of transitioning into teaching, you can explore this because you are allowed to study when you're on a skilled worker visa. Now, you can also come into the UK if they are willing to sponsor you, because you just need to submit an application. Nobody is aware of your desire if you don't submit an application. The documents you need for this particular program include your degree, certificates and transcripts. You need to get your UK NRIC. That's UK, I called it NRIC, but it's ENIC. ECCTIS. That is when they evaluate your transcript and your certificates, including your WAEC. I say WAEC because if you are in West Africa and watching this, or that is what you have, is equivalent to GCSE, you need to evaluate it. So what they will tell you is that what you have is on par with UK university degrees. That is what they will tell you. Now, you need that, your WAEC, like I said, SSC, NICO, you know, you need to make sure it can be evaluated with a pin and all that. But yes, you need it, and the minimum you need is a C. Yes, in maths and English. Very important that you note this. Please do not submit anything that you have anything less than a C. They want 4. That is the grade they are looking for. Now, you also need to show evidence of English language. I think sometimes they wouldn't ask for this. Is changing. Things are changing all the time. But right now, the main thing that they concentrate on when it regards to this is your GCSE equivalency. So it's something that you can write online. Once you write it, the result will come out and then you can use that. Unfortunately, if you've written WAEC, they still want you to have this done. I wish somebody can speak out against this because it doesn't sound fair for someone who has written WAEC 20 years ago to write it again. GCSE. What's GCSE? I don't know how we can get our voices heard, you know, about something like this. It doesn't sound fair in my own opinion. But right now, it seems like it's one of the things that these school providers want you to have. So with early years initial teacher training, you must have a degree. You cannot use HND or ND. You must have a degree to teach in the UK. It's so important that you consider this before you reach out to me. And I'm saying this because so many people will just, you know, contact me and tell me, okay, I'm ready. I have a PGD, and I'm like, UK. the basis is a degree. It's not your master's that determines whether you are qualified to teach in the UK, but the degree first, because PGC is the next level. Your degree first is the foundation of everything, guys. And another thing you need to understand is that the UK will pay the school provider £7,000 as tuition. Sometimes that is enough to cover your tuition. It might be more. So if it is £9,000 or £10,000, then when the UK government pays the school provider £7,000, what is left, you have to pay the rest. So prepare yourself for something like that. Now, if you have a first class, they will pay £500 every month. Then if you have a 2-1, you'll be paid £400 every month. And if you have a 2-2, you'll be paid £300 every month for 10 months. Yeah, I think it's 10 months. That's the duration for this training. Now, it means it's 5,000 in total for first class, 4,000 in total for 2-1, and 3,000 in total for those people with 2-2. They would not accept third class. Now, I want to tell you that it's very challenging, because last year when I shared these opportunities, someone really tried, but one of the providers said that she was not willing to take her because they were prioritizing people who had the first class, one of the providers. But I'm not saying you should make that discourage you. You can actually try to explore this. Don't listen to what I have to say, just go and try all the providers on that list. Someone also reached out to me and was complaining that, hey, she tried it and the provider said there were no slots. You just tried one instead of trying all of them on the list. Guys, we can't be lazy. This is 2025. Everybody wants the same opportunity we want, guys. So if you want to explore an option, you need to go all the way out. And if all the slots get finished by the time you watch this video, if it is next year, please try early. Start from September, October, when the new batch is ready. Remember that once they take you in and start the admission process, is also towards next year, which is September 2026. That is how they do it. So admission that you are trying to apply for, or any admission you get now, is against next year, guys. So prepare yourself accordingly. Unfortunately, the UK government has removed early years practitioner from the list of occupations that you can be sponsored on a skilled worker visa, but you can still be a nursery teacher. A nursery teacher means that you can teach from 0 to 5 years old. Remember that early years is a very sensitive time that you need to nurture a child's growth, their development, their language, their behavior. So you have to be ready to understand the whole concept. Nutrition, everything. You need to prepare yourself for this. Imagine having this done in 10 months, and then you can switch from a care worker visa to a teaching career, like as a nursery teacher, if that is what you're interested in. Why not? If not, you can always explore this. Guys, I'm going to show you exactly what to do. Like I said, I will show you everything on my computer. And before I show you what is on my computer, I just need to explain some of the things you need. I explained that you need a transcript, NARIC, GCSE equivalency test. I also have to explain to you that you might have to demonstrate a demo for your interview, like a teaching demo. So they have to understand whether you are willing to step down and teach kids. So this is one of the things that you might need. You need to prep for it. And also you prepare for your interview. And then you need DBS clearance, which you can do after you've gotten your visa. You need to submit an application for your visa. I think one of the requirements might be a police clearance report, because it's under the teaching option. So you need that police clearance from your home country. Remember that it expires in 3 months. So you shouldn't get that one first before you start the admission process. Let me go to my computer and show you what's up. This is the Get Into Teaching website. It says become an early years teacher. You can see that it says it's a critical period in a child's development, and as an early years teacher, you will work with young children up to the age of 5. Now you can see that it's called Early Years Teacher Status. Just note that EYTS is recognized in academies, free schools, and independent schools. You can achieve EYTS through either Early Years Initial Teacher Training or an Early Years Teacher Degree Apprenticeship. If you want to teach in primary school, including in a reception class, then you will need a QTS. I have a video or 3 videos about QTS now, about QTS England, QTS Wales. Just visit my playlist for teachers. You can see here that it says you need GCSE. Now, qualification: maths grade 4, English grade 4, science grade 4. So even if it's biology, physics, one of the science subjects, that is fine and okay. Now, let's just keep scrolling down. You see non-UK citizens, what you need: academic entry criteria and immigration permission for non-UK candidates. So if you're an international student, you want to come to the UK through this pathway, note that you need to meet the academic entry criteria for EYITT course and the relevant immigration permissions, like every regular student needs to meet. You can see that it says you need that grade C or 4 of GCSE, and you need a first degree in a UK higher education institution or equivalent qualifications. So if you studied outside the country, you just need that NARIC. Let's just scroll down here. You can see that it's postgraduate training and it costs £7,000. They will pay that. That's the Department for Education will pay that to the training provider. And the length of training is 1 academic year. Now, if you have a first class, it's 5,000. If it's a second class upper, £4,000. If it is 2-2, is £2,000. I made that correction in my video. If you see this in my video, I corrected it. But there are other options here. I was scrolling past that to find the early years training providers, and these are the ones. You need to select the ones. Send an email to graduate entry, the one that says graduate entry, yes. That's the first one on the roll next to the phone number here. So these are the ones that you would send an email to, because what you're applying for is the graduate entry, not the employment-based one or the undergraduate option. You're after the graduate entry, yes. That's the one. You will send an email to tell them that you are interested in that particular program. That's EYITT. If you are watching this in another year, just follow the same option. Hopefully it's going to be open every year. Hopefully, we pray it's open every year and they don't change this policy. I hope you've benefited a lot from this video. Please like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.
Africa's rich history is filled with stories of powerful kings and queens, like Queen Amina of Zazzau, the fearless warrior queen, King Mansa Musa of Mali, the wise and just ruler, Queen Nzinga of Angola, King Shaka Zulu, and many other notable African rulers. Join us on a journey through the lives of Africa's most legendary kings and queens. In African Kings and Queens, discover the fascinating stories of these iconic leaders. Get your copy now on Amazon Kindle. Grab your copy now.